Hello, book lovers. How have you been? So today I will talk a little bit about my experience while reading this book here. This book is from a Brazilian author, Rubem Alves. I will show you. And the literal translation is Two Teachers with Love, but if there is a translation into English, I will show you guys. And I will tell you about it in a while, so come with me. Alright, book lovers. So today it's a book by a Brazilian author, Rubem Alves. So Rubem Alves is so many things. I will tell you a little bit about him. He is an educator, poet, storyteller, essayist, theologist, psychoanalyst. Like, he is so many things. And he died in 2014, and he led a lot of brilliant books for us, and one of his well-known books is this one. And this book he wrote as an educator to teachers, and he's going to mention here many things about the education system, things that he believes should change because they're not very because the system is not perfect. Like, we need to do many things to improve the education system, and he's going in a very humorous and funny way mention these topics. This edition is a new edition, and it has 3 texts from other writers about Rubem Alves and about his book. And then the book here in the book you will find different texts from Rubem Alves about different topics related to education. I will read for you the title of the text so you can have an idea about his opinion and what he talks about. So the first text is The Dangers of Reading, and then he's going to tell here about being so addicted to reading that you lose your sense of self, you lose the sense of what is your idea and what are the ideas of other writers. There are a lot of people, mainly in the academic sector, that they only know how to mention what other people said, like, oh, this author said this, or Shakespeare said that, or Voltaire said that, but they don't really know what is their opinion. And when you ask, oh, what's your opinion about it, and then they say like, oh, Nietzsche said this. No, I don't want to know what Nietzsche thinks about the topic. I want to know what you think about it. And then they don't know what to say. So the dangers of reading is when you become so addicted to it that you don't know what your opinions are anymore. You just know the opinions of other writers. But then in the end he says, even though it's dangerous to go overboard with reading, he wishes that every school could teach how amazing reading is, how exciting books can be, because a lot of kids, they don't think that books are exciting, and they are. So he wishes that even though reading too much can be dangerous, not reading is worse. So yes. And then he talks about the titles are a little bit risky or a little bit strange, but I will explain. So the next 2 texts is about having sex and teaching, and about having sex and teaching too. But he's not really going to talk about sex itself. He's going to talk about making love and teaching, and how teaching has to have this loving essence. And he's going to make this metaphor and compare both. So it's not that weird when you read, and when you read his explanation, it makes a lot of sense. And then he talks about the end of national tests, like national tests to enter university, because he really doesn't agree with national standardized tests, tests that are equal for all the children in the country, and these tests that exclude children that don't have the best grades. So only the best grades get into college, and usually these like best grades come from kids from rich families because they had the money to pay for better schools. So it is elitist, and it is a class issue. So he talks a lot about it, and I think it's amazing. Like his test about it is amazing. And then after he mentions there is another text that is called Empty Mind. He's going to talk a lot about how having time to do nothing helps you being productive. And then he's going to talk about magic, the next text, which is very interesting. And then the recipe to eat cheese. This one is very interesting because he talks about being hungry, and instead of teachers or parents giving the food, letting children be hungry, because it doesn't matter if you are the best cook. Like, this is the metaphor, it doesn't matter if you are the best cook in the world. If the person you are serving is not hungry, it doesn't matter if your food is amazing, the person is not going to eat because the person is not hungry. So that's the metaphor for teaching. Like, it doesn't matter if you're the best teacher in the world, if your students don't want to learn, if they're not hungry for knowledge, they will not learn. And then he develops this idea, which is very interesting. And next text is Think. So he's going to talk about the importance of thinking about things, of analyzing things, of knowing your opinion and thinking about your opinion instead of just following other people's opinion. It has a little bit to do with the first text. And the book ends with the author's biography. I think it's very interesting. He writes for people who work in the education area. So if you are a teacher or a tutor, like, I think it's a very, very nice book for you to read. His writing is funny and smart and easy to read. I really loved it. He is very honest and brutal sometimes, so you need to be prepared for all like the punches in the face you're going to read, because sometimes it seems like he's just like punching you in the face with the truth, which hurts, sometimes it makes you think about reality, and sometimes reality is not what we want to hear about. Sometimes we want to keep on deceiving ourselves. So really recommend this book, really nice. It's a short book, only like 114 pages. I read in 2 days, very easy, and I hope you guys like it too. So if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel because it helps me a lot, and I hope to see you guys on next videos. Bye!